Hey, welcome to the Sunday Night Hang right here on Sunday nights, right here on YouTube. I'm Ben. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, rant, all the above. None of the above. No, all the above. Brother James with me tonight.
Rock on, everyone.
Guitar player, 6-string slayer for Star Zero. Hottest band, hottest, newest band out of the Southern California, Orange County region. Because, they're Metro. I get it. And Brother James, yes.
Thomas Santiago.
Yeah, wow, we already got quite the crowd in here. There's Ferd Purple, BC Rich 581, Doug Strong, Hip Metal Works, Gear Junkie 35, Thomas Santiago, Blackjack Guitar, Tim Thomas, Mohogany, Terry's 3Gs, JP Page 2, Gary Guitar 1950, Philip Ashby, either way, Philip, Scott Brockaway, Symmetry, Charles 75N, Gretsch Zeppelin, Scott Brockaway.
Crank it up, Symmetry.
Who else do we have in here? Who we got for LRM Guitars? Ryan Hall made it. Michael Krause. Joe Hervey 84.
Next to Liechtenstein.
Billy Baloney, Paul McNary. Of course, Paul McNary's early. Of course he is. Eric Warrington. Herb of Fireside Studio is going to check us out on replay. Must have an early day tomorrow.
Right on.
Guitar Man 45. Tom Raines. Yeah. Jack Collins.
See you in the future.
Nice. John DeShane.
Yeah, Thomas Santiago, your legend.
Legend. OG of the channel.
Oh, absolutely. Guitar Man 45.
I think Guitar Man 45 is looking at buying an EVH head.
It's an awesome head, man. Which one are you thinking of? There's what?
Well, that was the thing. He can't really tell. He's like, what's the difference between this? And I'm like, I don't know.
I've deep dived into it on my own personal thing, and I prefer the 50-watt heads. I mean, they're so freaking loud. I mean, there's plenty there. The blue channel on the 50-watt is insane. Yeah.
I was going to say, he's got a lot of similar stuff to what you have back there. He's got about 1 or 2 or 5 of everything. He was on the Zoom call the other night, and because we're talking Charles doing all the fabric wrap bodies, right? And he holds up one body. He's like, I have this one in red, white, blue, black. Like, he has piles of bodies and necks, and who knew? Who knew? Christopher Live Sawa, good to see you, my man. Who else I see sneak in here? Coots. Good to see Coots 13 in here. Fellow Canuck.
Yeah, Terry, you rock, brother.
Yeah, great to see Terry in here. Thought he had a trade. Not so much. Happens.
Oh, trade of the day.
Yeah. Maybe I can get rid of some gear tomorrow. I got a meeting over here tomorrow, so maybe I can sell some gear while the guy's here. Wow, you have this? Yeah, you want it? John DeShane's driving. All right, so we'll be the podcast.
Hey, John.
Yeah. So if you have any questions for either of us, please tag either of us. Thanks, Terry, for the link to AJ's band. Yeah, links down below as well. Check it out.
So what's new, Ben? I haven't been on for a while. I've been watching, kind of keeping up, seeing what's going on.
Summertime, hanging out with various YouTube friends here each week. Last week was Charles 75N talking about the fabric Kramer. We had Unbelievable join us for a bit as well. John DeShane asks, anyone want to buy my Halo? He's already over the Halo.
That's the new Keeley in it?
Yeah.
Already over the... That's interesting.
Yeah, he decided to stick with his DD500.
Well, apparently that's killer as well. You can get all the tones in it.
I've been debating the Halo. We may have to talk, John. We'll see. Yeah, other than that, gear hunting, because I am still looking for a stereo in, stereo out delay, because, that's my life.
A stereo in, stereo out delay.
Yeah.
What about one of the old Arions? Were they stereo in, stereo out?
I've got a list. BV sent me a list of all the stereo in, stereo outs, and the Halo was on the list. So, but now that, see, John's kind of poo-pooing it, so now I'm not sure if I want it.
Well, you got to maybe he's got the same sound he can match. If he can tone match in his DD500, you know, so maybe it's still awesome. It sounds awesome. I saw someone.
That's great, Lawrence. I did book Mark and Dave from Tone Talk. They'll be on in a couple of weeks. That'll be fun. So get all your amp questions ready for that night.
Yeah, that's going to be a great show, Ben.
GP Page 2 says, I like the flashback delay. It's stereo. Yeah, because I'm running stereo out of my chorus, then I want to run that into a delay and into the stereo reverb because I got the stereo reverb now. So, yeah. Starting to look like Command Central down there, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the hardwired DL8. That's step 2 in, 2 out.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's the one Dave Friedman always talked about. Remember when he did that thing where he talked about as close as you can get to a rack and a pedal?
Yeah.
The old juicy delays. That was one of his top.
Yeah, watch Charles 75N. He's probably going to look that one up and buy it out from under me again. He did that with a DoD stereo chorus there a week or so ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what he does. He's like, oh, I bought it just out of spite. I'm like, of course you did. He got that in a Metal Zone for like 80, 90 bucks shipped. So he's threatening to send me the Metal Zone.
Are you going to do, what are you trying to do? 3-cable method or just like a stereo rig?
No, I'm just running stereo with my B52 and my Fender.
Okay.
Coots asks, what's my main number one amp? That would be my Fender Blues Deluxe.
That's a great amp right there, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a workhorse.
A Pathface. Yeah. Great pedal platform. And it pairs well with the B52 because it's totally different. You know, it's more Mesa Boogie leaning as opposed to Fender.
Right.
So for stereo, works well. Billy Baloney says, if I play in stereo, will it sound twice as bad as usual? Yes. It'll just sound bigger.
Just repeat your badness.
Yeah. And Charles says he's just sitting here minding his own business. Yeah.
Looking at pedals. Looking at pedals online.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hardwired DLA.
This is the payback because Charles has been messing with me with the texts all week, right? But he forgets I'm the one with the live show, so I get to throw him right under the bus. Like he sent me a picture. Oh, I'm getting ready to box this up for a fella, and this photo of the Metal Zone in a box, ready to be shipped. I'm like, don't, just don't. Yes, Symmetry says JJ has a wonderful selection of amp type objects. Yep,
there's a couple there.
I don't know if you had the rectifier last time I was out there. I don't think so.
Which one? There's 3 rectifiers actually.
Jesus, I don't think you had any a couple years ago.
Yeah, I definitely had the dual channel triple.
Did you?
And I definitely had a single rectifier when you were here last. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. I love a rectifier. They get some hate, but it's a tone, man. If you're from the 90s, you know that sound.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the wonderful things. Like, because I use an amp as a pedal platform, coming out to your place the first time, I'm like, I get to play through all these amps all of a sudden. I'm like, giddy up. Okay. Hey, Brad Miller. Good to see you, my man. Brad Guitar Miller.
Yeah, welcome, Brad.
And yes, Scott Brockway, Lawrence Petros did post a teaser of the 74 Deluxe, which will be out on the 24th. August 24th, the 74 Deluxe.
Yeah, the Rectum Fryer. That's it, Billy. The Rectum Fryer.
Okay, so Symmetry asks, so how long do we have to wait to see the guitar with the white triangle headstock?
Oh, my new one? Yeah, you want to check that out?
Yeah, let's plug the new guitar. Hey, there's Brother Aaron.
Yes, rock on, Aaron.
See, he just heard guitar and he's like, yep, I'm here.
Oh, he loves it, doesn't he? He's all over it.
Nice. Let me solo you out here.
There it is.
Awesome.
Vapor Guitars out of Arizona. My first ever endorsement. I was freaking stoked. That was a big surprise for me.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And what are the pickups in it?
That's a 59 and Invader.
Woo! So hot and wild. Nice.
Yeah. Clean tones and aggressive tones. I mean,
no doubt. All right, now I'm just waiting for where's Quentin? We said Duncan Invader. That'll probably stir him from his nap.
Yeah, she plays great. It's not too heavy. It's only about 7 pounds or something, and
beautiful.
Yeah, got a bomb with it. It's killer. I love it.
That's right, Aaron. He's got all the tones.
I got all the tones. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Get the back off. Clean that off. It was all white on the back, and there's something about bare wood for me, oiled up. Yep. I just.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's the Vapor DX. And yeah, thank you, Vapor Guitars, for hooking me up with that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Super psyched.
Philip Aspie says, playing in front of people next weekend for the first time since '95. Wow, awesome. Nerves in effect despite COVID practices, so hive mind tips are welcome. All right. Do you drink? I'm saying you don't get drunk, but 1, maybe 2 to settle the nerves may help. Just hang out with the band. Keep your mind off things. Distract yourself as much as you can. Any advice, JJ?
Who is it playing?
He's playing for the first time since '95.
Since the fucking it's going to be a blink of an eye. Just how did you feel when you were on the stages then? Were you psyched and rocking it? Just get back up there and do it, man. I'd say maybe 1 drink before most. Just stay sober, let them nerves build, and just get out there and freaking kick ass, man.
Yeah.
Just breathe that moment. It's such a blink of an eye, isn't it? You're up there, you're off the stage. Just focus. Be rehearsed. Mm-hmm. Be rehearsed. Be tight. If you're super rehearsed, then it's just a breeze.
Yeah.
And it's just down to equipment failure. There's so many worries in there. There's so many freaking worries. If you take them all on, you might as well fucking explode. You just got to get up there and kill it, man. Just give it your all. Communicate with each other. Make sure the drummer's ready between songs and he's not faffing, fixing his snare. And everyone's, you know what I mean? Just stay focused. Yeah, mm-hmm. Easy to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely, hit a joint maybe and freaking 1 beer just to chill it out right before.
Exactly. Like Aaron says, warm up, stretch, 1 drink, and rock.
Yeah, that's it. Good luck, man. Go kill it.
Yeah, let us know how you do. Let's see what I see here. Scott Bracco was asking, do we have an ETA on the new album? Which I've heard and it sounds amazing. So,
yeah, we're not just going to kind of put it out. We've got some kind of there's discussions going on at the moment, so we're kind of holding back. We're talking about doing a video in the next couple of weeks, so kind of doing the 1 song at a time thing. But it's all we've got a manager now, so it's kind of in his hands in that direction.
Right.
And,
we may see a single before we'd see any kind of an album type situation, probably.
Yeah. We're holding back on any releases right now. We want to, we're in communications with some people, and we just want it. We want some backing behind it. You know what I mean? We've got some, got some good things rolling. So I'm thinking we're hopefully going to get at least a single out in about 6 weeks' time, with a video and the full kind of, bit of a radio push as well. We've got a station here in California, KCAL, and they're already starting to spin us, which is super exciting. They debuted us, and so we're just kind of, I was
walking out to it again today. I was cleaning up the garage, and so I just threw it on the Bluetooth speaker on the phone, and I was like, oh yeah, Love it.
Yeah.
Aaron played Friday night. How did the gig go, Aaron? That's what we'd like to know. How did your gig go? What's up, other left? Dan of New Jersey. And I see Guitar Man 45 almost bought a white Gibson Explorer a couple weeks ago, but somebody beat him to it. Yes, Charles, they want to do it the right way. That's right. Yeah. As opposed to myself, which is never that, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some footage of Aaron's gig. They were rocking it.
Mm-hmm. They're so tight. They sound so fluid, but they're so tight.
Yeah.
The gig went as well as Dark Side sounds. Well, that would be well.
Yeah, right on, brother.
Nice. Thanks again, Terry, for the links. Yes, if you're on the face space, definitely check out the Star Zero band, as well as the website, apparently. Terry found the website. I didn't find the website. He found the website.
Yeah, we haven't even pushed anything like that. That's the next thing, is like social media, all of that, getting it all organized. All we did, it was just kept it very low key, all the social media, but now we're starting we got a couple of teams who are going to help with all that, and frickin' so follow the bouncing ball.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah, and like you say, it's kind of out of your hands. Management gets to do all that, and you just sit back and be the artist.
I'll poke my nose in, that.
Hey, Doug.
People with belief in us.
Good to see Cousin Doug, Down and Back Cornhole Podcast. Doug, I've already watched all the races except for the Cup race. I know, shocking. Anyways, yes. Let's see, Doug Strong says, so the algorithm is already trying to sell me Halos, so thanks for that. You're welcome.
Isn't that crazy how that works?
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's not me. That'll be JJ. That's not me. The highway's been too crowded for racing tonight. I think it's a long weekend out there. Heavy traffic. It's nice out. Hey, Fruitcake Tony. Early as usual. Exactly. Perfect timing.
Momentito.
Aaron, did you want to jump on for a few? We were asking earlier if you were going to be in the chat or not. What's up, Jeff K? Good to see you, my friend. We've got 46 people in here. If you haven't already, please leave a thumbs up. It helps algorithms and stuff. And it helps Doug Strong not buy a Halo. Oh, also next week, fun fact, Symmetry is going to be my guest. Just one-on-one like this. Just saying. There we go. Over here. Hit that. Let me click on that. And then we do this. And then algorithms and technology sends it off across international borders.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers.
Man.
And I'll be back tomorrow night with Canucks with Guitars. Myself, Terry, and possibly Tom. Who knows? We'll see. And, yeah. And the Nass Canucks on Tuesday. Oh, Soda Pop tasting this week. I think Strawberry Crush, if I'm not mistaken. Or as I call it, the Diabetes Playlist. I believe so, Symmetry. You're drinking Jack and Cokes?
Myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hectic weekend, so needed one.
Yeah, I could go for 1 or 4 of those. Been there.
Yeah, I'm going to get a top up in a minute. Yeah, going to relax, have a nice evening with everyone, hang out.
Yeah, catch up. That's right. It's nice to see everybody here tonight, Tony. It's a great community.
Yeah, Fruitcake, what's up, brother?
I was on Fruitcake show, was that last week? 2 weeks ago? No, it was last week. Last week. That's right. It was fun. Show me your pick. Which I can, in fact, because I have them now. And yes, I gave one to my sister. Come on. Are you going to be nice? Well, you might. Nope, you didn't. That's fine. All right, there we go. All this just for a promo. There we go. Fruitcake Tony. Are you going to focus? No, you're not. There you are. Maybe. Sure. Flip around. Boom. Check it out, folks. I'll put that up there. It's all grippy from the tape. Nice. Now we have new tone picks. Yes, you do. Doug, yeah, there's a place out near Doug's place or something, near his work or something. Pedro's Mennonite store. I don't know what to think of that.
Yeah, grippy picks.
JJ taught me to just use basically any pick and play any neck on any guitar.
That's it. If it's grabbable distance, yeah, go with the vibe. Did I teach you that?
Parkway went with really small picks that are really thick. Okay, that's fine. Thick jazz threes.
You know, I can never get my head around the really tiny little picks, the little tiny jazz picks. They're a tough one to get my head around.
I can't use them.
Well, them little purple ones, them little fat purple guys. They're mental.
XL is big. Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah, the Tortex are sick, man. I love the Tortex.
Yeah.
There it is.
They work well for me. That when they really like the Master 8, which are I can't remember what they're made out of. Duralon or something, I don't know. But they got rubberized. Like the printing on it, all that fancy stuff, that's all rubberized.
And what brand's that?
Master 8 out of Japan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
Yeah, and then it's got a bit of a cat's tongue as well as the rubber on that side. So they last too. I've been using this
one. Jim's Guitars.
What's up, Dane? Saw Dane last night on Fruitcake Tony's channel.
Right on.
Man, he's got that guitar wall at Dane's shop is just I would so loiter there. I always say that.
Too. Yeah, I hope to stop in there one day, for sure. He's only 10 hours away.
BC Rich has been moving to lighter picks lately, going a little bit against the grain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stu Tree's a fan of the honey pick 1.5 milli stole from John Shane. Yes, they are, Philip. Picks are definitely undervalued in terms of tone impact. Totally. They're the ones that are attacking the strings. It's the point of contact.
Yeah. Big difference.
Let's see. Hit Metalworks says Tortex XL since time began. Did switch picks during a set. Or didn't. Terry likes the Master 8 pick as well.
I think he does switch picks during a set.
I don't have to pay for them. Available at Tesi Switch, so I don't have to pay for them. The more you buy, the less I have to pay. That's the way it works with Rob.
I'm going to grab this for the studio. One sec. Hey, brother.
I believe he said that was the studio, so that's cool. Don't get those calls every day. Hashtag Rockstar Life. Right, Charles? Charles knows what I'm talking about. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. Well, he tries. So what do we got going on, folks? Hey, Loogie Flux. What's up? 45 of you. on Sunday, August the 21st. Wow. Yep. Okay. Billy Baloney's been using orange Tortex picks forever. I believe you, because I don't know anybody that started using them in the last 30, 40 years. 30 years. Anyways. My dad used to use them. A little too thin for my liking. IROC Zed Blues. Where did the summer go? Still pretty summery today, although it rained on and off.
Yeah, matching is always awesome, but sometimes you want to check if you have a multimeter, just check with the ohms in case someone swaps speakers. You know, all right, brother.
There, just in case, trade secrets and such. Well, you wouldn't go purple, Scott, if you didn't hold your breath.
It's funny, the never end. That was a studio we play out of, and it's the never-ending question of matching amps to speaker cabinets with ohms and resistance. So if I've got an 8-ohm amp, what should I have the amp? It's like, dude, match them 8 and 8. There you go. Funny. Exactly. People are always feel so paranoid of that. It seems so confusing.
You can use the pick a couple of times, Symmetry, to get the feel of the Yngwie pick, but just don't do any pick slides with it. No, we don't need those dilithium crystal picks that Steve from Boston collects. Piece here. Those things are like €65 each. I was like, that's like $65 for a pick.
For which ones?
These ones that Steve from Boston buys out of Europe, they're like $65 a pick.
But they're made of rock or something, aren't they? And they're handmade.
Yeah, they're all handmade, one-off. And they're like 3.5 mil down to a little pinpoint, and some of them glow in the dark. And
well, Steve from Boston didn't pay 65 frickin' bucks for them, did he?
A lot of them he did.
Yeah, the gravity picks. Someone mentioned them. They're good. It's definitely they've got a sound and they've got a feel.
I don't know if I have any of those left. I think everybody that's visited here have stolen those over the years. Like I'm like, oh, do you mind if I grab a couple picks out of the pick bowl? Sure, they always just go for the gravities.
Oh yeah, they last forever. I mean, they do last forever.
Yeah. Coots likes your Ernie Ball Access.
Yeah. Yes, that's an awesome guitar.
It's like the brother guitar to my guitar.
Yeah, they got the same color, isn't it?
Yeah.
La la la. Yeah, this is a monster. Absolute. Mm-hmm. The craftsmanship's incredible. I do like the PVs as well, though. Different animals.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But these, incredible. Yeah, it's the twin to yours, isn't it? Big old gouge in it. Oh, poor thing. Yeah, man.
So mine's the hardtail. Yeah, yours is a little more quilt. Mine's a little more flame than quilt.
Very quilty, I must say.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very that one third Berfler. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was actually one of the workers at Ernie Ball, and he got to pick the woods. So I got that from him. Ended up trading it for a G&L. Straight swap. I was stoked. He was stoked.
You got the better end of that deal.
I think, dude, it was a killer G&L, and it was signed by that guy from G&L as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the early ASATs. It was very early ASAT. It was a beautiful guitar, beautiful woods again. The weirdest frets on it, man. It was so freaking high, but beautiful guitar. They were a fair swap. I'd had my time with the G&L.
I'll join you, Christopher.
Yeah. Give it a pull. Dimebag, his birthday yesterday. Bless him.
I was just wondering where he was, and there he is.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Oh my! Is that who I really think it is, Aaron? What? Oh, brother!
My God, the three amigos back together the way it should be. How the hell are yous?
Well,
Not
better
too
now.
shabby.
Yeah, I had to run downstairs and grab a beer out of the fridge, put some pants on, all the normal things.
You didn't need the pants.
Well, if I stand up at any point, I figured I don't want to Quentin James
Boy,
the internet.
happy birthday to the kids.
Oh, thank you much.
Yes, happy birthday to the twins. That's
Yep,
badass.
I will have them. Like I went up Saturday because they had belt testing, and then I'll have them next weekend and we'll celebrate. But their actual birthday is today. 8 years old. Crazy.
Yeah. Makes me feel old.
Oh yeah, you and me both.
You had a killer show, Aaron. It looked great.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, the last like I told you when I was out there at the time, like 3 of the last 4 shows were packed and rocking, and Friday was no exception. Add that on there. So
Did you have to realign your head after all that freaking headbanging, dude?
no, you know what? Like I said to Hit Metalworks in there, dude. I made sure like I got there early. I stretched. Like to be honest with you, the stretching.
The old trick for the headbanging,
dude. The stretching goes so far because if we have practice on like a Tuesday and I'm throwing around, I never stretch before practice. You know, you just pick up and go. Yeah. Wednesday, I'm like, oh my God, I was hit by a truck.
Yeah,
you know, it can be Wednesday morning at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
But at the show, I got there probably like an hour and a half before the first band went on. Got everything off to the side that I needed off to the side. Stretched, got a beer. It was all good, man.
Nice. What's up, Eddie Van Haskell?
Yeah, rock on, Eddie. Good to see you,
channel OG.
But we ain't here to talk about no Elvis. We're here to talk about a little Star Zero, man. I have been jamming. Well, okay, so a little backstory for those that don't know. I was fortunate enough to when I was in California in June that I was there for the last 2 days of studio-related stuff at the time.
Intense freaking mentalness.
It was awesome, though. Dude,
yeah,
it was crazy.
Amazing.
I mean, Cameron's a genius. Your band's awesome. I was beyond. I ended up singing at the end of Power, which was totally weird. Like when that CD comes out and you hear it at the very end, and you're like, "There's a third voice I haven't heard yet." Yeah, that's my goofy little ass. But
very exciting that one,
dude. It sounded so good when I was there. I mean, by the end of it, I believed in the band as much as anyone. I was sold. I was absolutely in love with it. So then to finally hear it like mixed and mastered, even though it was already so fucking good, to see it mixed and mastered was like, I've been playing it. I showed it. You sent it to me. I listened to it all. The next day I got to work. I grabbed, we had band practice. I grabbed Zeke. I go, check this shit out. I go, you can't show anyone because you don't physically have it, but here you go. Bam. And I played it. And he's like, oh, God damn, that sounds good. I'm like, yeah. Yes, it does.
Yeah, can't wait for everyone to hear it, man.
It is pro produced, definitely slick in a good way, because slick can be bad at times, but like there's a few times, Jay, I'm listening to it, I'm like, I forget it's you playing, because it's so well produced, and it's just like, and that's not saying they did trickery or anything, but it's just like, I was like, okay, like I know the guy, and I was just like, everything is just cranked up and it's just mixed so well and spatial. And I'm listening, I'm like, damn. I'm like, how many people are in this band? Like, it's just, but then I listen to it, and I'm like, no, it's not layered. It's just everyone has their space, and
the guy was a genius. We had the songs, we had what we believed in, and he picked up on
and some of the choruses are so hooky, and I was just like, oh wow.
JJ will tell you the very first time, because I was not there when they tracked Dark Side. I heard Dark Side on playback when we had finished, and I hadn't heard it yet, and I literally was like, can we play that again? Play that again. That's the first single. I was like, that's the fucking song. Yeah. And everyone was like, you think? And I'm like, God damn, are you kidding me? And when that chorus hits, it's just like, oh my God, like that chorus is infectious. Like, dude, like I told you, I showed it to Zeke, our bass player, and it was funny because we listened to it in the car ride from work to my house to pick up my gear before practice.
What's up, Ninja? Legend.
And as soon as we walk in the house, my dad's like, "Oh, I've got some food if you guys are hungry." He starts dishing up, and I hear him going, and I go, "Fucking told you." And he's like, "What?" You're already humming Dark Side. And he goes,
That's funny.
he's like, "Oh man," he's like, that chorus is so catchy. I was like, "Yeah, it's awesome."
Yeah, we got, what can I say? We got a hell of a band, man. The singer's freaking incredible. I mean, he's got the voice.
And hearing the difference from the previous generation, I'll call it, or iteration to this, like, and you're like, things are different. And I'm listening to it, right? And I'm just like, yeah, like I hear some stuff's the same, but stuff's different. And then I was just like, holy crap, because I like the old band, but this new band, I was just like, this is some full on, like, pro, like, I was like, yeah, okay,
we took some risks. There's some odds in there which are risky, and it's what we believe. It's part of our flavor, and
there's definitely
I'm so fucking proud.
We were going over this. What makes them so unique? I mean, they're awesome band, but what makes them so unique is that there are parts where you could close your eyes, and I swear to God, you'll hear Lane Staley, you'll hear Chris Cornell, you'll hear Freddie frickin' Mercury doing some backup harmonies. You'll hear Surge. You'll hear Surge from System of a Down. You'll hear Zach from Rage Against the Machine. But then you mix that all together, and it's like this one dude, which is why I gave him the name, the Man of a Million Voices. Like,
Josh is so, good.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, wow. I'm blown away. Is it us? I mean, shit, it's freaking crazy. We've
I remember sitting in on that rehearsal, just listening to Josh sing, right? And other than adding a touch of reverb to his voice, like for practice, which through headphones, which is not fun for a vocalist, and I was just like, wow. And I remember when everyone left, Jay, I said to you, I'm like, I am so jealous. You have such a good singer. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
We're straight up rock. We got our grunge vibe, but it's not even grunge. It's more fucking Soundgarden. It's
definitely. Yeah. I would say it's rock. It's rock with all these little influences of other parts of rock. You know what I mean?
There's definitely some Caribbean stuff going on in there, which I love.
He walked into the room 5 years ago to that rehearsal room. We're just old farts, been freaking living our life or whatever, and we were rehearsing. He came to the third rehearsal. We had heard he wanted to jump in and see what's up. We gave him a demo of our rehearsal. Dude, as soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, this is it. We got to do something with this freaking voice. Where the hell's he been hiding for all these years? For those of you who don't know, he was in a band called The Flies in the early 2000s, him and his brother Adam. And they had a freaking massive hit called Got You Where You Want Me. He calls it his one-hit wonder, which it kind of was. But it's still played on the radio every day,
song?
Every
Maybe
day.
you can hum along.
When we play it live in any bar or anywhere we play it, you get the whole bar freaking singing. So he's done it. I mean, he did a stadium tour with the Rolling Stones in his 20s.
Yeah, and so I've covered it, and it always got a great reaction.
One of my buddies,
his voice is, especially with some, God bless them, up in heaven or wherever they may be. There's not many left with that voice, and we write real songs with real lyrics and a real story and a real fucking movie, man. I can't wait for you all to hear it. And thank you so much for the props, guys. But it is, I got so much belief in this music, man.
Well, yeah, and that's it. And I I've always kept it real with you, especially off air, and it's just like, I was like, damn. All I could tell you was, I was like, killer tracks, because that's like all I could just say, because I was just like, wow. Well,
what was funny is, at that show, I told one of my friends that had shown up, I was like, oh, dude, I can't wait till you hear my buddy's band. They're coming out soon. They're called Star Zero. They got the singer from The Flies. And he looks at me like, I don't know who The Flies are. And I'm like, hold on. I pull out my phone. I go, got you where I want you. I start humming. He's like, I don't think I know that. And I'm like, dude, you're the same age as me. There's no way you don't know this song. So I pull up YouTube, type in Flies, Got You Where I Want You, comes up immediately, hit play. Dude, as soon as the song started, he's singing the words. he starts singing the words, and I go, "Told you knew it." And he goes, "Oh, I didn't know that was the Flies, and that was the song." I'm like, "But yet you know every lyric." That's because that song was huge.
It was a hit, a standard. It became a standard of the '90s.
I don't got Rockaway. It is more Soundgarden. I mean, you know, Josh is it's got cornels in his freaking body, but that's his natural voice. He can get the Freddie Mercury highs and the lowest of freaking dark lows. I'm blessed to be in a band with him.
He can whisper, he can scream, he can chant. Jeez.
There was a couple of times in the studio I remember me and JJ are sitting back, and you know, he'd do okay. They'd be like, he'd nail out the thing, like, okay, now layer it. He'd layer it. Okay, now harmony. Okay, now harmony. Okay, now do a high harmony. Okay, he did the high harmony. Then all of a sudden he'd be like, "You think you can do one higher?" Yeah. And all of a sudden you'd hear like higher than I can even imitate right now.
Magical moment.
Me and JJ would look at each other like, "You've got to be." Evan Haskell to not swear his mom's listening. Me. And I'd just be like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of thing. And I kept telling Josh, I was like, you know, in the studio, like, I'd have turned that into like a high-pitched scream or something because I can't falsetto like that. And I was like, oh my God.
I know it's as an artist, it can be both, you know, like breathtaking and humbling at the same time. Like, you know, at one point, Aaron, you're like, okay, I do it like this. Otherwise, you'd be like, well, I got to find a singer. You know, if I want my band to do anything, I need to find a singer.
To be honest with you,
being a singer myself, I love I love your vocals.
Oh, thank you. Well, me and Josh, I thought, got on like a house on fire because the first thing that got me, like him and I sat and had a couple of heart-to-hearts when they went to get lunch and stuff. So it's like we both have very real experiences that we're singing about, but that and we wear our hearts on our sleeves when we're performing. But the biggest thing that caught me right off the bat is, as a singer, I'll sit there and listen to something I've never heard before, and I'll expect the voice to go like da da. Logically, da, you know, you're good. He's just walking up the scale, and all of a sudden, Josh would go like da da da, like, and you're like, whoa. He went the exact. Almost every time I would have twisted, he turned, and every time he turned, I would have twisted. And I just went to him, and I was like, that was so refreshing. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, I thought I knew where like every melody was gonna go, and there were times where it's like it went nowhere near where I thought it was gonna go. Like the first time I heard, remember the first time I heard you, that playback, that first chorus, JJ? Oh, yeah. All I wanted was, and you're expecting you, like shove it through the roof. Instead, this fucking like soul crushing you. He drops that soul crushing you, and it's just like it just takes all the air out of the room. You're like, oh my God, he went the other way and he did it magically.
He's up there with the freaking gods, you know. He's up there with the top tier, you know. He's proved it once before, and he's freaking back. And
he is a gorgeous voice.
Yeah.
In the rhythm section,
I'm not going to sell the rest of the band
super tight. I want to give them credit where credit's due. Like, there's some serious grooves going on.
And our boy JJ is thunderous at worst. He is over there thunderous, and there's some ridiculously cool. Oh, I love
the mad shit going on. Definitely vision accomplished for sure, man. And songs for the massive. We're gonna freaking get it out there, man. You know, not so now. The cheesy word authentic, but it's real songs again. Real songs, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say, now that I've got you where I want you, can you tell me what happened that whole weekend of the flannel thing? Because I got it through text from you, but I wanted to.
Yeah, that dude. This is dude, talk about pure freaking rock and roll. It was just the most manic freaking. So we had this
very Spinal Tap. Very Spinal Tap.
This was so Spinal Tap. It was insane. So we had this huge freaking festival we were going to play, and there was several times it was going to be cancelled. There was COVID. There was freaking paperwork with the city. So many different things. They ended up moving it to a different venue 2 weeks before.
That I saw.
Yeah.
Okay. And they posted pictures of the venue, and it looked really nice.
And it was on. And then Sugar Ray pulled out 2 days before. And from that point, it spiraled. Everclear pulled out. And it was crazy. Because I was on the phone with my manager right at that point. And it's like, well, it's too late for them to, because it's been so up in the air anyway. I'm like, this is too close. It's 48 hours before this freaking festival. And I said, there's no way they can freaking cancel it now. And I get off the phone and then they freaking canceled it. I'm like, what the hell? It was just freaking madness. So apparently it's rescheduled for April next year.
Okay.
And there's been crazy.
Maybe I'll luck out because NAMM is in April. Maybe I'll luck out and I'll get to do NAMM and that festival.
Right?
Totally. Yeah.
I'll roadie the hell out of your setup, dog. You don't even know.
So we'll see. We've been told it's happening, so we'll see if that really happening. Because I know a lot of shit went down at that last festival.
And if I'm back to traveling by that time, you can be the roadie, Aaron. I'll be the tech because I do the setup.
As long as you don't do the soldering, we're good. I'll do the soldering. How about that?
Yeah. Right. So check it out. That gig gets cancelled, right? That gig gets cancelled 2 days before.
Hey, Zach.
And there's people coming in from all over the place to see us, you know, just friends and freaking family flying in, all kinds of crazy shit. So we end up getting another gig at a killer venue with, what are they freaking called? The Crash Test Dummies. Right. Which isn't really our thing, but they were nice.
I was like, well, you're gonna blow those dudes off the stage while they're still.
That's where it got fucking scary.
While they're still going.
Exactly. I'm thinking, well, if people were watching them back then, they were watching the other bands playing at that time as well. So maybe
good logic.
You know, and like, okay, maybe but we're fire right now. We're fucking destructible right now. It's crazy. So we somehow get put on that fucking bill. Like last minute, we're on it and we signed a contract for it as well. So we roll up, fucking unload all our gear and whatever. We're ready to do it. And then their tour manager spazzes out, something goes down, and we get told that they're concerned about the space on the stage. And this is a big freaking stage, but they've got all the big drum freaking mirror out in front of it, you know, the big window they stick in front of it.
Surely you guys would have been opening anyways. Why couldn't you load on, play, load up?
There was one other band as well. Yeah,
you totally could have loaded on, loaded off.
Absolutely. But the tour manager freaked out about it, and we had a signed contract. But it ended up, you know, you get someone out of it, the actual owner of the venue, and it's a killer venue, and you have everyone coming through. We've now got the Buck Cherry show out of it, so that's going to be awesome.
Way better fit too.
Way better fit.
So we've got that, and we basically
that's the karma. That's the karma.
Yeah, and we're locked in with them now, and they really like us, and they're so things work out for the best. But dude, this is like at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Day of.
2 shows cancelled in 2 days now.
Yeah.
And so we call this, a buddy of ours, Brad, calls this promoter he knows local in San Clemente, and we end up playing this bar. We get a gig at a bar. We run around, scramble a PA. We set up. Everyone who was coming to see us wherever, kind of who was still going to rolled up there. There was people there. And we end up playing this freaking packed bar and freaking killed it. It was amazing. Scrambled
by the end of it all,
show.
So 2 canceled shows in 2 days translates to a packed show and the Buck Cherry gig.
You know, crazy, like Ronnie King. We have a keyboard player in our band as well now, Ronnie King. Did I tell you about this, Aaron?
I know Ronnie King from Offspring.
Yeah, so Ronnie's our keyboard player. He's officially joined the band now. He recorded when we were doing all our pre-production. He recorded with us.
I was like, I knew he recorded with you, but I didn't know he officially joined.
Yeah, but he never ended up on the Cameron recordings. But that's going to be kind of the next round. But Ronnie could have played Red Rocks that night.
I was going to say, because Offspring is touring right now.
He wasn't playing with Offspring then. He used to be Offspring's touring key. He's played with frickin' everybody, from the Beastie Boys to frickin' you name it, Danzig. He's like the keyboard player of the Stars. Incredible guy.
He's the Pete Thorne of keyboard players.
And he's the one who told me, just keep following the bouncy ball. Don't worry about it. Just keep following, things fall in that freaking place.
I remember you and I talking about him a few months ago.
He fits in so freaking killer, you know, and he's back on the streets with it with us, just freaking loving it. And he could have played Red Rocks that night, and he cancelled the freaking show at Red Rocks to play with us. And I'm like, damn, you know. So he's a legend. He's a freaking legend.
Has he been practicing with you guys then too?
Yeah, he's been. Yeah, we had 2 rehearsals since then. He's been to every rehearsal. He lives in Palm Springs, so it's kind of hard. And like he came down, rehearsed with us Thursday. He had another show at the House of Blue with some other band on Friday.
Killer, dude.
He goes from show to show. That's what he does. But
Yeah,
we're his band now, and he does his other gigs. You know, but he's there for us. 2 rehearsals with us. He's a badass.
that's awesome.
We got
Cannot argue with that.
We got some Faith No More in us now, like you wouldn't freaking believe. It's fucking crazy in some of the songs. We're writing again now as well. It's badass.
Hey, Randy.
That makes me incredibly happy.
Yeah.
I can totally hear where a keyboard would fit too, which makes it exciting.
A couple of our mellower songs, we got some kind of piano parts, and it's just fucking. It'll melt your freaking heart, dude. It's, you know, we're not just crazy.
Yeah. Let's let Josh loose over top of a piano, Aaron.
Oh, dude, we got some emotional freaking heartbreakers, man, which are just fuck me. With that piano in there, it's like fuck, and I can just go back. You know,
Uncle Will showed up.
Who we got?
Will Varela, the man.
Yeah, rock on, Will. Right on,
dude.
Man.
Hey, so speaking of that show that you ended up playing, how many songs did you guys play?
We played 11 songs.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, all originals or did you sprinkle in some covers?
All originals, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a bunch that, you know, because we recorded another 4 in pre-production, which we never finished. We're going back into Cameron's. We're also doing a cover. I don't want to say what it is right now, but it's fucking badass. Something that Cameron always wanted to do to a song. He's like, let's do it. So that's going to be sick. Yeah, man.
Well, I couldn't be happier for you guys. You know that.
Yeah, we just got to start a social media thing now. We got some label talk. We've got a lot of things happening, but social media is 0 at this point. We've got our Facebook, but we're going to start some things moving. We're getting some really good clips going and release 1 song. You know, because we're getting that radio airplay, and they're going to start playing it in Arizona at some station, and we're going to try and get it on the college circuits too. So we've got little.
Do I presume that it's going to be the song that it should be?
Yeah, I think Dark Side's going to be the one because it's already been played on the radio once already. So, yeah,
yes,
that's the one we're going to do.
That
the video
stank
for.
face. That's for that song.
Yeah, so we're heading to the desert in 2 weeks to do a video. Yeah, desert video. Might involve aliens. I don't know. That's the plan. I want aliens.
You'll manage to get aliens involved somewhere, JJ.
If we're in the freaking desert, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way things are going, they might be real.
Yeah. My vision right now is like surfing on a wave, right? Taking off on the wave, surfing it to the beach, getting in the car, driving all the way through the mayhem craziness of LA out to the desert. So you go from sunrise to sunset on this journey from a wave, and then at the end of it, you get taken by aliens.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
that
it'd be
is
that
awesome.
journey, you know what I mean? It'd be fucking badass.
Yeah. That is. It's awesome because it's like
I haven't put it to the guys yet, but we are going to the desert. Let's start at the beach.
Will there be gummies at the desert? Yes,
I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure.
All the gummies. You gotta eat them before they melt.
And yeah, we got potential of more gigs coming up as well. So we've got that Buck Cherry and also a potential of something going on in the desert, maybe with Eagles of Death Metal. So that could be pretty
that would be unbelievable.
Yes.
The more notice you can give me, the more likely I am to fly out for that.
Yeah. So just heard about that last week. So and that's pretty badass.
Because that's the kind of band I can hop on a bill with.
Oh, mate. Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to be it's going to be all the desert bands. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I wish Caius was still playing.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I mean, I can take what's left over. Don't get me wrong. Like what came out of it's all really, really freaking good.
Yeah,
too.
it did. Yeah.
It's not one of those situations where it's like, oh, Caius is gone and there's nothing to show for it now except what they've done. It's like, no, Queens are freaking amazing. Eagles of Death Metal are amazing. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Oh,
There are-
JJ, I didn't
Cars
get
were
to show you
insane.
yet. Check it out, Home Slice.
Oh, so this is the one. This
So
is
you
it.
remember? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
there
glad
was
this.
the choice of the two.
Exactly. Yeah. When we were at NAMM, I'd been waiting for this guitar to come out with the rosewood fretboard.
Right.
And we show up, and what do? They do 3 models in this silver burst that aren't this guitar as the 25th anniversary models.
Right.
So then I'm like, son of a, what do I do? Because I was also telling JJ, I'm like, oh, I think I want to get a junior sometime soon. Well, they just so happened one of the 3 was their SG looking guitar, the Sensei, as a junior. Yeah, in this color. And I played that thing for 45 minutes, and I'd been talking to Ken before, and then he sees me playing it, and I'm talking to him afterwards. And I'm like, damn it, you made it really hard. I wanted a new silver. And I told him I've been waiting for the rosewood board. And I go, but now maybe I do the junior. And he's like, well, do you have anything with P90s? And I laughed. I'm like, P90s is like what I use most of the time. Like my backup's always a humbucker, but P90s is what I use. He's like, oh. He's like, well, maybe get the OG then. And he's like, sees me playing the Sensei, and he goes, I don't know, man. Maybe you should get the Sensei. It's like Sean Pierce Johnson's taking pictures of me playing the Sensei and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, God bless it. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Well, then I'm at JJ's that night, and this guitar with the rosewood board had just come out. And you know me, I'm always on Guitar Center catching all their F-ups.
Oh, yeah.
And they happened to list this thing for stupid cheap. And I just immediately contacted my friend who's still the warehouse manager at Guitar Center. And I said, hey, I need you to send this out from California like now. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because they priced it like it was an older model with the different fingerboard. And he's like, okay. And then he texts me back and he goes, it's on its way. We're good. I'm like, thanks. So then the funny thing is, I come to pick it up. I pull it out. I take one look at it. I take one look at it, and they're like, oh, that's gorgeous. And I go, yeah, you'll never believe what I got it for. They messed up. So then they go, well, let's see if there's any more on the site now. And that day, they had gotten another one, and they finally figured out that there's like the new rosewood board one, because now it says,
that was the difference. Oh shit!
Because now it says 2022 rosewood board, and it was $300 more used than what I paid for this. And I was like,
wow!
I was like, told you. So
That's
then,
yeah, Michael Crow says, "How stupid cheap? Go ahead, make us cry."
Yeah.
Let's just say whatever you find one for used online, it's going to be between $300 and $350, less than that.
Yeah. Basically, wholesale.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I go off of what I remember we used to pay for Reverends, this would have literally been exact wholesale price what I paid for this.
Yeah. Wow.
Grasshopper asks, Ben, do you have any PRS SE guitars? I do not. Do you, Aaron? You don't.
No, I've always liked the way PRSs feel. The build quality is impeccable. I'm not so big on a lot of the look of some of their guitars. Very, very like, boom. They're very blingy. But the big reason I've never owned a PRS, that's like the only major brand anyhow, that I've never owned a guitar for. And it's because I've never found a set of PRS pickups that I really like. I know people that make them work. Nick KB sounds fantastic on a
lot
PRS.
Of people do.
Yeah, He sounds incredible on a PRS. I've just never found one that works for me. I always wanted like the dark green one, like Daniel Johns from Silverchair had. He was given that by Paige Hamilton from Helmet, gave him that guitar. So growing up, I was like, oh my God, that's the sickest guitar. I want that. And then I finally played one, and I was like, this doesn't sound the way I thought it was gonna.
Yeah. And there are certain size pickup in the PRS. You can't fit regular humbuckers in there, can you?
I don't know the answer to that, but
they're
you may
PRS
be you may be right, because they definitely don't look like your standard width.
they're sized differently.
Yeah, and that's been the big thing though, is I just never. Will Varela, nice going, Aaron. I thought stupid cheap was my mother-in-law. Love that guy. But yeah, that's the only thing, is like, I'd probably get one that's a little less flashy. I'd get a more muted one, but I'd have to look into that pickup situation, because their pickups always have like a very, very bright high end to my ears. And I'm always like, man, if I could tone that down, maybe I'd get behind these. And I was in a band before this with a guy that had a couple of ridiculously cool ones, including he had like a, whatever the heck their semi-hollow one's called. And it was like not the Wood Library, probably the one down from that. It was all like he picked all the timbers and the colors and all that stuff.
10 top or something like that.
Yeah, it was stupid. I mean, the guitar back.
Flashy. I mean, and that's when they get flashy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the same thing I said is I was like, man, this guitar feels great. But then every time I played it, I don't know if that's the way I pick, because I played it through his rig, and he was never. It didn't sound real spiky and high end to me when he was playing it. But the second I played it, I was like, God, there's some high end in there that I just can't handle. So I don't know if that's...
Guitar Man 45 says, all my PRS guitars are amazing. And who knows how many he has, because he goes through phases, Aaron. He's been threatening me. You know what's coming up later? Gretches. He's going to get into Gretches soon.
Oh, yeah, you absolutely should. I've owned...
Yeah, but when he decides to get into something, you understand her. He's going to buy half a dozen of them.
Well, that's what he should do. If you have the means, rock and roll, baby. Don't lose your home over it.
You should see his operation. There's just, like he looks like JJ's place, except he's got the same thing also behind the camera. Multiple apparently Marshall stacks. They're all the stacks, and drum sets and PAs and guitars, pedals and.
So JJ, that brings up a good question. What'd you run live for the show? Rivera Cab and the Helix?
Yeah, I ran the Rivera Cab with greenbacks and the Helix for my pedals and the EVH head.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right for you. Yeah. That sounds killer. Killer sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we ran Ronnie on keyboards because we ended up everything went to shit and we ended up playing the bar. I always take a spare head and a cab and whatever because I was going to run stereos for the bigger show. I was going to run cabs. I was going to run the two Riveras. So Ronnie ran his keyboards through the Marshall DSL 100 and the 212 with EVM 12Ls. Sounded freaking awesome.
So basically like John Lord.
Well, he's all low end. He's all,
what are the other
fucking low end shit and
it's
what
like
the other boys
playing through a Marshall.
What the other boy end up having?
Billy used the Soldano head through a Marshall 412, which sounds fucking killer with greenbacks. And then Poppy has a trippy bass rig. His bass rig, it's like a Fender head and a 210 or something, and he has a sub. He has like a 115 sub.
That's the way to do it, dude. 15s are.
Dude,
15s are my favorite. My absolute favorite. On guitars, even I like 15-inch guitar speakers better than anything. But on bass, I love the best bass setup is a 15 and then a 410 or a 210. Oh,
yeah, he has a 15 and a 210, but the 15 is actually a sub. It's a powered sub, I think, or something like that.
Well, that's awesome.
It's a very unique tone. Yeah, and he uses the guy from Sabbath.
Oh,
the Geezer Butler pickup.
Geezer Butler, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're passive EMGs or active EMGs. I think active EMGs. He has a sick tone. Yeah.
Nice.
This old cheap freaking Yamaha that he's had for years, just like a budget thing that he's had for years, which he freaking loves.
I was like, dude, if it sounds good, the cost doesn't matter. I mean, well,
this
is the perfect conversation.
Coming out, man.
You and I have had this conversation when I was out there. We have both owned ridiculously expensive gear. Now, we didn't pay full on ridiculous because we're both pretty thrifty, but we've had gear that's like ridiculously expensive. I've had $4,000 and $5,000 guitars.
Not thrifty, cost effective.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very cost effective.
We've had
and apparently, because Randy woke up from his nap, he wants me to show off his latest purchase.
Okay, show off his latest purchase.
He got one of those Indo tellies with the set neck and the humbuckers.
Yeah.
Which I think a Duncan 59 and possibly a Pearly Gates in the bridge.
Is that solid red or has that got a flame on it?
Oh, she's Flame.
really?
Because
She's
it's the
Flame.
FMT series, so Flame Maple Top.
That's an older guitar, yeah. It's not new.
They're still
That
making
old?
them.
Oh, okay. That looks nice.
Yeah.
But me and JJ were, I swear we talked about this.
Color
when we were
matching
riding
headstock too.
We were riding around talking about gear in general, because that's when I learned what, like shred guitars he's got and all the variations of the EVH guitars and stuff. But we were both saying, we're like, dude, we've owned some ridiculously expensive gear that's really awesome. We both had some ridiculously expensive gear that we had cheaper things that were better than, or that we preferred. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as better. But, like I have found that if I stay in that new, I never buy them new, but you know what I mean? If you stay in that new 750 to 1250 range, I find heaps of guitars that I love in that range.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
My two Chapmans, my two
Well,
Reverends, my
but the
Revolta.
bummer is that range freaking 3 years ago, not to harp on about all the bullshit, 3 years ago wasn't that range. That was the $400 to $700 range.
Yeah.
What's up, Josh?
I mean, it's like, shite. What's happened?
Josh says, sorry I'm late. Never giving a 2-year-old a brownie ever again.
Learn that one. I'll tell you what, dude, it gets worse as they get older, because you start to think like, oh, I'm an hour and a half before bedtime, and it's a handful of M&Ms. What can possibly go wrong? A lot can go wrong is the answer.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking 2 years old trying to eat a brownie, and that's just like you get wearing it as much as eating
I was more concerned with the sugar, because out of nowhere, I swear to God, it's like freaking booger sugar for them. They're like, and it's like, oh, just lay still. Stop moving.
Yeah.
You can't fall asleep sitting up. That's
Gear's a trippy one, man, because if you can buy good gear for cheap, like you used to be able to do back in the day, especially when all the modeling
here
gear
and there
came out.
You can still snag on a deal every once in a while.
Stacks of amps in Guitar Center. That's when you were still working there, Aaron. I mean, there was freaking.
I mean, I've always been.
We're going for like $400-500 that are now selling for $2,000.
Yeah. Well, what he's saying is, like, before it was the norm to find the stuff at that price. Now you have to, like me, look for when they mess up and jump on it. Before, you didn't have to look for a mess up. It was just routine that the gear was going to be that price. Yeah. Like, you could pretty easily walk into any Guitar Center across the states and be like, that's normally $1,200 used. You want $400 for it? I'll take it. Now you have to walk in and go $1,200. You have two of the same guitars, so I know that they're both normally $1,200. You've got one listed for $900, and you've got one listed for $650. And then you pick up the $650, and if it's good, you take that. But
yeah.
How funny! Will Varela just mentions the Black Star amps. I was just going to say about Black Star. It's like nowadays, even these little amps, you turn them on, you get some great freaking tones out of them. If you're going to crank them, it's different. But if you want to sit there and just jam out on your guitar, all this stuff's got amazing.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I tried a Black Star. They're not sold around here at all.
Modeling ones, they're all freaking incredible, man. Having them man, I would have been blown away. Have them freaking tones. Jeez.
They just came out with a couple of actual full-on tube amps, I believe, and from what I've heard, they sound good. I'm still not real big.
Star?
What's that?
Black Star?
Yeah, they just came out with
they've had tube amps for a while, I think.
Yeah, but they had a big period there where they were doing like the reverse Music Man, where it was like tube preamp, solid state output section, and then they had
wrong with that, though. I think
nothing wrong with that at all. You can get good tones nowadays out of any amp. But they just released a couple of things. St. James, that's what it's called. That's, I think, full tube. The only thing that I have never found yet that I like is neodymium speakers. Like, everyone's like, oh, they're nice and light. And I'm always like,
light things.
Yeah, but they never have any to them. You know what I mean? Like,
they don't throw.
Like, I'm glad that they're super light.
My buddy swears by them, and he's a crazy tone chaser. He had all the valve amps, the crazy money ones. He had the freaking all the real boutique-y ones, but he's got those Fenders, the
Tone Masters.
The Tone Masters, and he got both versions. There was like a tweed.
There's a deluxe and a twin, I think, is what they have. I played both of them. And
he got rid of the tweed one. He preferred the other one. He got both of them to compare because he's still a tone freak, but he swears by that thing. That has one of those speakers in it.
I liked the clean tone on that. I did not like how it took a fuzz. Like I use fuzz, so that's it's all digital, all modeled, which is great. It sounds like I said clean. I thought it was unbelievable. You could have closed your eyes.
He's all about edge of breakup. He's like edge of breakup.
That'd be right in his wheelhouse. But if you're going to go clean amp and then all of a sudden step on like a muff,
I mean, if he can't take pedals, that's a different deal. Get a freaking hot rod. You know what I mean?
All day.
Speaking of Aaron, please tell me you saw the reverb video of Jay Mascis talking about a signature muff.
Of course I did. Come on now. His EHX one, yeah.
The quote of that video, I don't know if you saw it, JJ, but the quote had to be talking about when he went to see Jeff Beck play live. I'm like, wait, what? Why is Jay Mascis at a Jeff Beck show? And he's like, yeah, he's pretty good. Doesn't sing a lot. I'm just like, well, yeah, he's pretty good and he doesn't sing a lot. But yeah, like Jay Mascis talking about Jeff Beck.
I've been jonesing to get. I've been jonesing, speaking of edge of breakup, because that's basically my clean tone is that edge of breakup. But I've been jonesing to get one of those Victory VC35, the coppers, their AC type guitar. I played one of them and I was literally like, oh my God, like at any volume, this is what I want my amp to sound like when I'm playing live. And you just don't see enough of them over here yet. At least not used, I should say.
Doug Strong's got a Victory. It may or may not be that.
I know Nick's got a couple of them. He's got the Sheriff, which I liked. That's their like lower gain Marshall one, and then he's got a different one.
Well,
but that copper had one. Whew.
See now, I think Doug's still in the chat.
You can do the little one, or you can do the full size, or you can do a combo. They pretty much have it broken down on every style of amp has.
Well, you'll appreciate this, Aaron, because like Doug has like discernible taste for tone, right? He's just getting back into playing last couple years, young family like yourself, right? He's got his Victory amp, but he's thinking about going stereo. I made the mistake of mentioning him getting a Sir Ombre, so now he's looking at Sir combo amps.
Oh yeah,
he's like, thanks for that. I was like, oh yeah, sorry, but.
Well, the Badger was one of the ones that originally. I ended up looking at. This was before I bought that vintage Laney.
There's Doug. Yes, just talking about your accidental journey down the Sir amplifier route there.
Literally before I bought that vintage Laney VC30, that was when I was like, "Oh, I'm looking at." The Laney VC30s, I was looking at the Sir Ombres, I was looking at the VC35. Oh yeah. And then
the Ombre is nice.
Oh, it's
real nice.
And then I found that Laney for such a stupid deal. Still had the originals 90s Ruby tubes in it. I was like, dude, I could sell the tubes for more than what I paid for this amp. Like, and that was glorious because when I got it, I remember plugging it in to make sure everything worked when it arrived back at Guitar Center. And I just remember all of a sudden I look up and there's like 3 or 4 people, like one employee and a couple of customers, and they're like, what the hell's that amp? And I'm like, oh, you don't know about this because they don't make this anymore. And I started showing them and I'm like, yeah. But I don't take that amp out. I used it on the recording.
Delicate.
Yeah. I don't take that out. I used it on the recording, but I don't take it out. If I bought a copper, that would be like what I'd take out. Then my flight case would just house like a 1 or 2 12, and I'd bring the head, throw it on top, and use that.
Phil Aspie mentioning the Bad Cat and 65 amps. They're both badass.
Oh, absolutely. Bad Cats are killer.
Yeah. And 65.
You want a killer? I know Bad Cat separates themselves from it because it was before John bought the company. But right before John Thompson bought Bad Cat, they had James Brown of 5150 fame come in and do an amp called the Cougar.
Right.
And you can get those dirt cheap. You can get a Cougar 5 watt for like $300. You can get a Cougar 15 for like $400. Those amps are freaking awesome. And I know like when John took over the company, it's like he had nothing to do with them. They're not built at Bad Camp. It was like the last deal that the previous owners had set up and they were built elsewhere, but they had James Brown design them. Those amps are killer. So if anyone ever finds like a Bad Cat Cougar and it's in your price range, get it because they're killer.
Welcome, brother James. Good to see you, brother.
He says, look at these sexy SOBs. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So much hotness, so little Vaseline. Have a great week, everyone.
Relax. Control yourself.
Boner Jams, who is the star of the End of the Bus Network. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
That is
6
too
p.m.
funny.
Pacific.
Terry says that Doe, I don't know who Doe is, has a VC30 Deluxe.
Doug, actually.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. Also, Randy was asking, when's your album out for distribution?
Asking me or asking him?
You.
Oh, me. Oh, Christ. I know that Tuesday's practice is canceled because Eddie is onto something, and we're getting to the point where he's finally happy enough for us to start sitting down and
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's the pluses and minuses of having your drummer be a producer. Because
Well, I agree. And he's like, yep. And then
Eddie's gonna sit there and he knows the songs, they're his songs, but then he's also producing it. So it's like he's sitting there going, like, I don't like how this sounds. I'm gonna mess with this, I'm gonna mess with that. So
damn.
Randy Crooks dropping the big mic drop.
Right on, Randy.
Damn. Thanks, Randy.
That gets a damn from me as well. Wow.
I was not expecting that. I think I shall celebrate that.
Yeah. So
I do not need to celebrate it at the moment, but I'm already pretty celebrated. But
yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to having your actual guest on. I just wanted to stop in and say, JJ, I'm so proud of you. I love you, brother.
All right.
Ben, I love you, and we will talk. Obviously, all of us. Everyone in the chat.
Rock on, Aaron. I love you, brother.
Have a good one. Star Zero. Check them out. If you're not following, get off your ass and do so.
Yeah, right on, Bo. Hey, love you.
We gotta talk pedals this week, Aaron.
We shall.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Take
Peace.
care, brother. Woo!
What's up, Mark?
Right on. Dwight Bailey. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's up, Dwight?
Will Varela, always love, man. What's up, brother? Hope everyone is doing freaking awesome. Keeping the music alive.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Thong, haven't said hi. What's up, Zach? Good to see you, brother.
We got 49 people watching. Please leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. I appreciate it. It helps. Oh, it's nice to know what's up with Aaron. Good to know his gig went well and things are proceeding. And
I really like his band. They've got a cool thing going on for sure.
Again, they have a certain 90s thing without necessarily doing a 90s thing. Like, I heard it. I was like, wow. Like, this takes me back. I was like, I swear I've heard these songs before. He's like, that's impossible. I know. I'm like, I know. But similar, like when I've heard some of your music, I was like, it's almost like I've heard this before, but you haven't.
Just comes from an era, and then and he loved that era. He was a big Nirvana fan, and he's got that vibe and like freaking Sonic Youth, and it just they're badass, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make sure I didn't miss anyone here. PC Rich 581 says, could not get into Sonic Youth.
Can get into them. Great thing about that.
Oh, there will be no water leaking, Ryan. It's all good. Mike's way over here, arm's length away. All good. Thanks again, Terry, for throwing links in there.
Yeah, badass, man.
Always appreciative. There is a little Sloan elements, to Aaron stuff, but I heard some Rusty elements. Definitely there's a Canadian thing. I don't know how he does it. It's because he's so nice. That's what I figured.
The Pixies.
Yeah.
Pumpkins. Yeah, they sound tight. They sound freaking great.
Oh, by the way, Aaron's in the chat, and Will's pissed you didn't say goodbye to him. So, just saying. He's probably unsubbed and moved on. Blocked us all. Thanks. Got to throw Will under the bus every once in a while.
No, Will's hanging tight.
Doug, wasn't it you that was talking about Sonic Youth the other night on the Zoom call? Which we were doing for patrons and channel members a couple times a month. We had a call last week, I think. I don't know. I was like live for a week straight between the Zoom call and it was crazy, JJ. I was like on our friend Andrew's 5150 channel on Friday night, and then Fruitcake Tony Saturday, then here Sunday, here Monday, and that's next Tuesday, then my Zoom call Wednesday. I'm like, damn, what's going on Thursday? I'm like, nothing.
That's
and I think I still shot a video on Thursday. I did, because the Kramer video. I shot that on Thursday. Yes, I think Doug Strong had the comment about Sonic Youth. At some point, it's just noise.
Yeah. It was just noise sometimes, but yeah, some killer tones, though, making that freaking noise. There's no real music to some parts, but they were badass.
Mm-hmm. I suppose Quentin James hasn't shown up tonight. He must be asleep. Just saying. Usually whenever Aaron stops by too, or yourself, he's like, so I'm thinking he's asleep. Either that or he's redecorating again still.
Creating mayhem somewhere in the neighborhood.
That's true.
On the streets.
On his way to or from the Ghetto Kroger.
Yeah, or the drive by the gym.
Yeah, you gotta catch up, Ryan. It's 5 parts. Hopefully it'll be done in 6. I'd really like it to be done in part 6. I said from the start, if everything goes absolutely smooth, 4 parts. If it doesn't, 7. And we're definitely, there's already 5. And I haven't put strings on it yet, so. It's on my list. Next few days, we'll get that thing together and hopefully get it playing, and then I can start rocking it with the Kramer.
Looks awesome.
DeMarco super distortion in it.
Nice pickup.
Possibly, Mark. Yes, Wednesday or Thursday. I'll text you tomorrow about it. I did exercise some restraint on the Kramer video. I've exercised a lot of restraint in a lot of every video of that series, Aaron. It's just been it's just a comedy of errors.
Oh, funny.
Like,
man.
JJ, I couldn't find the volume pot for it, so I cleaned off the bench for 20 minutes, right? Looking for the volume pot. And then I literally turned my head to the right. It's hanging on a peg right there at eye level.
And you remember putting it there?
No. No. Based on certain lifestyle choices, no. Fred Burfel thought I was going to tear my hand up with the drum. No, I'm okay with the Dremel. It's just easy. It was next to no pressure. And that was the other thing. Vice grips. I couldn't find any vice grips. Took me 20 minutes looking in the garage. I found these crappy old vice grips, JJ. So I do the thing, make the video, right? I'm livid. I'm like, I'm going to go out, enjoy some sunshine, right? Have a vape. I go out to the garage. I put my vape down right next to my good pair of vice grips. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's just, yeah.
I love it. That's how it works, man. Someone's screwing with you.
BC Rich says, sounds like every single mod project I've ever tried, but mine include burns. Hey, we're not finished soldering yet. There's plenty of time for burns yet. So, yeah. And then eventually you'll gotta suss in the new nut, replace the tuners at some point, work on the bridge possibly. I don't know. We'll basically hardtail it anyways. That'd be
What, you
badass.
gonna skim it?
John Duchesne says, love the tunes. Great stuff.
Right on, brother.
Hey, Dean. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm thinking that I didn't review the whole video, but I'm thinking the camera angle must have made the Dremel look closer to my other hand than it was. It wasn't that close. Especially with cutting wheels. I've always been careful with cutting wheels. And I've done a lot of metal fab, thankfully. Hip Metalworks is like, no, you haven't if you do that. I know. It is a labor of love, Philip. And affordability. That's how I first started working on guitars, because I couldn't afford to pay somebody else to do it. And then when I could afford it, I did afford it. And then I got back into it because of YouTube for content. Man, my skills are lacking from what they used to be. Better. I still do a setup pretty quick, which reminds me, I got to do a setup on the Wolfgang. Action's a little too high for a Wolfgang, so got to work on that.
Your Japanese one?
Yeah. Because it's summertime. It's my summer guitar because it fret spreads in the winter, and I can't handle it because they're stainless frets, and I don't want to. I got to give it to Travis to do properly. Right. So it's my summer. I'm like, oh, right, it's summertime. Pull it out. Yeah. I play it so much in the summertime. Till it dries out, and you're like, okay, I'll see you in a few months.
Yeah, nice guitars, man.
Yep. I was playing it yesterday, in fact. Randy Crooks is looking forward to the demonstration of the Kramer. Should be fun. I got to set up my new mic setup. Got new mics, JJ. Wireless. Right. Okay. Wireless lav mics, 2 of them.
For using here or?
No. I can connect them to my phone for recording videos.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
The mic, okay. Nice.
Yeah. So I haven't checked it as far as how it would mic up with an amp, but if it works reasonably well, it'll be better than just my phone. You know what I mean? Right. So, and you can always EQ your amp accordingly. Like if it's pick up more highs, you can darken the amp up a bit to compensate. Quentin could be burning a steak blackjack guitar. Okay, Lawrence Cash says, I had everyone in the shop helping me look for a tool. It was in my toolbox. What's worse was roaming around looking for something and then forget what you were looking for. Yep, in there. John, well, I do it for you folks. I suffer for you. You know, I swear, I suffer for you. You know, it's the content. You know, if you guys get a few chuckles out of it, perfect. You know, because you can tell when I've just about had it. Because that's when I'm like, all right, let's just call it here in the video. You know, like let's just call it a day, agree to walk away, and then we'll visit another day. And that's kind of how that build's been. I agree, Randy. Randy Crooks says he loves that you're keeping original music alive, JJ, along with Aaron.
Absolutely. For the kids, mate, for the future.
That's right.
Maybe there's a freaking chance for freaking real music to come back. It's funny, I went to Josh's yesterday, and his daughter comes out. I haven't seen her in a couple of months, and she's like, well, how old is she now? Like 13 or something, and she's got her long black hair, and she's got a freaking Metallica shirt on, one of the OG ones. And her Dr. Martens. I'm like, you're in a Metallica? And she's like, yeah, I love them. I'm like, what? And I guess it's all from Stranger Things, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, they're back in the charts. I'm just like, wow, here you go again. It's so good to see. You know what I mean? That was badass seeing her wearing a Metallica shirt. But original music, I mean, it has to be. You know, when we did our stuff, no click, we went OG, just fucking found the right tones, worked on tones, and you know, knew what we were playing, knew how to play them, knew our songs.
Right.
We were ready to go in. No freaking Pro Tools and chopping and changing and all that. The original discussion with the producer was, let's do it old school. You know, let's take it back to the 90s, just how it was done.
Yeah. I think you just gave Charles a heart attack there, John. Part 9, the Kramer fire. Charles is like, no, I did that thing 3 times. Dean says his daughter's 15. She has very diverse musical likes. I don't know. Part of it's what you're listening to. Believe me. I know whatever my parents listened to growing up. That would be the soundtrack of your early childhood until you figure out how to listen to your own form of music, whether it be the radio or whatever. However kids consume music nowadays. I don't know. TikTok videos. All right, so Charles did have 3 heart attacks. That's fine. That's fine. At least they didn't use the Dremel over the body, Charles. Thought you there.
Yeah,
Although he did throw me under the bus. I'm just saying, yeah, wait. We start off part 6 is Ben's trying to locate how to get the trem or the ground wire from the trem claw into the cavity. Well, a fella decided, he's going to put his little Charles 75N decal there under the trem system, right over the hole.
Yeah, I think soldering is going to be the fun one, man.
Yeah, I did a bit there. I got the little wire done, and oh, jeez, yeah. It'll be fun. We'll get her done. I found a nice, easy wiring diagram. I'm like, yep. Fortunately, I can still read wiring diagrams and schematics. No problem. Thank God. So, it's just a matter of hunt and peck. Story of my life. And then Aaron says, I paint with the solder. Okay, Guitar Man 45, all I see is he says, I only had one. I find that hard to believe, you having only one of something. I have to look up, unless it's response to something I said, but I don't see what he said. I must have missed it.
Yeah, right on, Philip Aspie. Yeah, we've all recorded on a Tascam 4-track back in the day. So badass. That's creativity. You got to commit.
Yep. Hey, I started with my dad's 2-track reel-to-reel. It was just bouncing one track back and forth. That was, early. He got that thing in the early 70s, mid 70s, maybe.
Yeah.
When in doubt, Doug, check behind the Marshalls. Yeah. I think Guitar Man 45 has one of everything, though. It seems. It's crazy. We'll be on these Zoom calls, JJ, and we'll be talking about a subject, and all of a sudden he'll just drop the statement that just ends the conversation.
Well, no kidding.
Oh yeah, like what was it? John Deshane's going on about King's X. He's a big King's X fan, right? Loves King's X. Blah blah blah. Well, seen a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden, Bo's just sitting there for about 10 minutes, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, I opened for them one time." Oh really? and the conversation just stops, and everyone just kind of sits back. He does. See, John knows he has all the things. It's great. So
that's awesome.
His family come in and say hi and stuff, which is always fun.
Nice.
He's just surrounded by gear and all the gear. Beautiful gear. And he kills me. All of a sudden, I'll just get a random email. He's like, I'm looking at telly. So he gets like an Ultralux telly. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Think we'll get, now I got to get the matching Strat. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah, and you did. I love that, Lawrence. Yeah, some of you have never committed to 4 tracks and it shows. What do you mean you need to bounce tracks? 4-track, 2-inch tape. Exactly, John. Exactly. Terry, like, mentioning getting a strap out of you, and Bo pulls out like 4 of them. Because I think he's looking for something to get fabric wrapped by Charles. Because Charles is getting up to his elbows in jobs from the community, JJ. Once he did Mike Kramer, apparently, and
I was going to
he's
say,
done a few of his own.
Incredible.
Yeah, like he's doing what, Meteora for Cullen James right now, and then he's got another customer's one coming in this week or something.
Well, as soon as we saw that guitar, we all thought about it. I was straight away. I'm like, man, I could totally have it do something for me. I'd love that. Yeah, it looks incredible.
You're like, where do I got that to bolt on next? So I only have to send a body out. Yeah.
Right. But it ain't no easy ride. That was a tough journey for him to figure out how to do it. And he obviously nailed it. Amazing.
Oh, he did. Yeah. And then he just buffed it out to like a 12,000 grit or something like that. So it's like factory finish.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah. That's why every time I pick up a screwdriver, he cringes. He's like, you don't just... Because I'm just manhandling it like it's any old thing. And
yeah, you're a bit like me, Ben. It's just a guitar, man. What's the big deal? It's like... where does the hole need to go? Right about there. Screw.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, that bridge looks about right. Just start poking holes.
Yeah. Bang, bang,
hey,
bang.
metalhead hippie.
Turn. Twist. There we go. Chang. Sorry, Charles.
What's this? Guitar Man 45 says, wait till you hear my vision for this spring new adventure. Oh, boy. What is he's talking about? Getting animals out. He's got a whole, like, I don't know. He's like lives at the end of a road, JJ, and he's got his buildings and his trailers and a big campground area, and there's animals and swimming and games and barbecues, and I don't know. It sounds like a hippie commune to me, But right. So I'm down with it. So, and then he's got an entire back line apparently of kick-ass gear. He needs to hold a festival. We'll all congregate at Bo's. It's fairly central. Michigan.
Woodstock 23.
Damn straight hippies do rule.
Did you guys see all the mayhem at the Woodstock 99, that documentary on Netflix? That was so cool.
Yep.
Complete insanity. Kind of remember things, thinking back. I remember seeing things on the news and some fires, but not really.
Oh, I remember there was a bit of stuff at 94, but it wasn't the same as 99. In 99,
the highlight of 94 was the mud throwing. You know what I mean? That was about it. But God, yeah, 99 was crazy. Yeah, wrong lineup. It's like, hey, you guys check the lineup. Who's actually freaking playing? This is going to be like a freaking apocalypse. It's going to be so jam. Crazy.
Yeah. Michael Krause is thinking about getting a goat. Hope you got a yard. No, save you on mowing it. Get some goats. Just don't leave anything outside that you don't want eaten. That's the other thing.
They're going to eat everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on, Michael.
Get a nice one. You don't want an ornery one, that's for sure.
Yeah, BC Rich, absolutely appalling. I mean, treat like animals, the fans, just treat like animals. That management and all the, God, breakdown of the system right there. Mm-hmm. Greed. Just greed.
Yep.
Cut every corner they could cut. It was mental.
Crazy. That's right.
Sure,
Appalling. Exactly.
Good fucking time if you were there, though. You know that.
Dean says he has 2 goats, apparently.
Wow.
Don't care for electric fences. His behave. Nice. Are they climbers? Have you ever come home and they've been on the roof of something? I've seen that in videos. How? How did you get up there?
How the hell did they get up there?
Oh, there you go. Michael Kress has 2 acres of land with lots of invasive species. Let the goat have it all. Yep. Yeah, you might want to get 2 so they can keep each other company, I would think. Right, Dean? Yeah. Okay. Yep. So playing on them climbing on stuff, apparently. I haven't seen that Randy Crooks, the Randy Rhoads documentary. In 2. So Michael, dose. 1 for each acre. There you go. See, sounds like a plan. I think that's how it works, right? You get 1 goat per acre or something. I don't know. Chickens will cut down on the bugs. Well, that's handy. Okay. So it's, farm animal talk. Exactly, Philip. Who knows? Who knows where we'll go? I let you, the chat, decide. Apparently, we're doing animal husbandry. I don't know. I have a cat. It's pretty self-sufficient. For Burful raised goats. Okay. Texas? Texan goats, or are they Ohio goats? So I know you used to be one and now you're the other. Or you're now the other and you used to be one? Right. Or both. I don't know. We got 41 people watching. Awesome. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. Texas.
Yeah, awesome.
We're talking about goats. Apparently, you should get 2, and they can end up on top of stuff. And I figure, if you got 2 acres, 2 goats ought to cover it. 1 goat per acre. Seems.
So that's your lawnmower, basically.
Yeah.
And milk if you want to drink goat's milk. Goat cheese.
Ferd Burfel hasn't lived in Ohio since the 70s. Fair enough. And I believe you. He was on one of our recent
bands. 1 more batch of deviled eggs, man. Making me hungry.
Devil's Day. There's always... That's not a seasonal thing. You can have them any time of year, in my opinion.
But you don't live in Symmetry's mind.
Apparently not.
See? Yeah. Ashley's down as well. LRM. That was not LNM, it's LRM. It's not the guys from Austria.
Right. LRM Guitars is Canadian.
Okay.
Oh, I know this. West of me, I want to say. Northwest of Toronto? Maybe. And Guitar Man 45 has chickens. But they cut down on the bugs, apparently. So there's that. Neighbors had chickens. I haven't seen them around this year, so I'm guessing they didn't make it through the winter. Or maybe they weren't supposed to. I don't know. Ferd Burfel graduated high school in 73 and joined the Navy and never went back.
Never went back where?
To Ohio.
Oh.
Now he's in Texas. Like coastal Texas or nowhere near water after being in the Navy, Texas. I think he's at East Texas. Is that near water?
The Mighty Nerd Hayden played Texas last night. Let's give them a shout out. Rock
cool.
On, K-W boys.
Right on. Yeah, I'm down with that symmetry. Well, I'll be having another one, next month? Be probably the first Saturday of next month. No. Maybe, well, that'd be Labor Day weekend. That'd be September 3rd. Plausible. Maybe. We'll see. On the other hand, if not a lot of people around, it's an easier hang for me.
You've been watching Music Therapy Laz's adventures over there with Henning?
You mean his Mighty World Tour? Like, wow, just everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in Hungary, he's in Austria, he's in Germany, and
Liechtenstein, and freaking
all points in between. It'd be the day before. Oh, you want to do it after Symmetry? All right. Fair enough. We can do it after.
The Tone Talk show is going to be badass. They're a couple of my favorite dudes. Mark's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, I was talking with Mark there a few weeks ago, and I'm like, hey, do you and Dave want to come on? He's like, I'll ask. He's like, sure. He's like, yeah. I'm like, pick a date. So they did. So yeah, that'll be fun. And then next week will be Symmetry, and then the week after Tone Talk, I can't remember. Ferd Burfell's about halfway between Dallas and Shreveport. Yeah, I'm thinking water. It's Louisiana water. So I think that's on that side. 4 or 5 hours from the coast. Okay. Phil Pasby, Guitar Nerd Redirect traded an Epiphone Casino and it's great. Or traded for an Epiphone Casino and it's great. Pickups are okay, but replacement suggestions? I would have has what Epiphone P90s. Are they? They're dog ear P90s too.
That's what's in the casino? That's what's in the casino?
Yeah. I'm picturing chrome dog ear P90s.
All
right. Who would make a good P90 for that? That's a good question. My P90s are not dog ears. Can we do them in dog ears? No, you don't. No, wait. That's a hollow body. No, you do not want my hot P90 pickup set. No, you'll have all the feedback. Gary says Duncan quarter pounds. Okay. I was thinking Lawlers. Okay. I was thinking because I thought Lawlers did some P90s.
What's that's like $400 worth of pickups, though, isn't it?
Probably. Will the rail hammers from Reverend fit? I think they're humbucker sized, Michael Krause.
What about those Seymour? Aren't there those Seymour Duncan P90s that do like a humbucker?
Yeah, I think those are what Gary was talking about, the quarter pounders.
And you can switch them to a humbucker.
Well, that's true, Doug. Yeah, you could put my pickups into it, and then we could start a Sonic Youth cover band. That's true. Must be all the feedback. Right
on, Symmetry. I think the devil's coming out the ground.
Reverend does make P90s as well, though. Yes, I don't know if they make dog-eared ones, though. I don't know if they're different and it's just a different housing. I don't know. I've never researched that. I've never had to research it.
We did some tracking with your P90s in my Gibson.
Nice.
It rocked.
That's awesome. Well, we'll go a few more minutes here, folks. Get any questions, comments, and concerns in. Yeah, and definitely check out the Rhett Shull video because, Rhett does a lot of P90 stuff, so he's got pretty good tone. I like his tone. So you got a few shows coming up. Other than that, writing material. Apparently, more band members. So you're up to what, 5, 6 members in the band now?
Yeah, fucking 6 at this point. Yeah, nice. I think we're sticking it. Well, 7 including Cameron. Cameron is actually officially a member. Whenever we talk about things, he says we. It's like, this is what we need to do. You know, Cameron has belief in us, and getting it from him, just his excitement with it all. It's like, we can do this, you know, and we just don't want to come out and just explode our wad. We want to systematically create the big, great rock and roll swindle and make this happen somehow. The music is worthy, and it's just you've got to direct it in the right way. How do we do it? And that's where we're sitting right now. We've got some shows. We've actually got one on the 3rd in San Clemente. We're playing in a music store for a charity for autism. There's 3 bands, so it's a local show. That's gonna be freaking kick ass. Nice. Yeah. And then we got another show with the freaking, what are they called? God, what the fuck are they called? They're an 80s band. I can't remember what they were. Dramarama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a show with them in October at some point, and then the freaking Buck Cherry. So, yeah, we got some shows, and then we're going to work on our social media and just figure out how we're going to explode that. We've actually, well, again, I don't know. We got people doing it for us. Something like.
I was going to say, yeah, you hire some kid to do that stuff, right?
Well, by the blessings of God, you know, we throw our manager some money because he's been a blessing, but we've got other people getting involved now who are kind of digging the music and helping us. You know what I mean? So we're going with that flow. We're spent, you know, someone else needs to pay for this shit. But we've got such belief in the music, and hang tight with us, guys, because we're going to come out. The music's strong. We just want it to come out right and where it needs to be, you know. Anyone wants to hear it, freaking hit me up, man.
It's great stuff. Just don't go.
Start zero. I mean, you know, any appreciation of you if you do follow Facebook, any likes, you know, because that's the thing now. We got to build our social media, and we're gonna
pass it around and invite all your friends to like it. You know, inundate them, folks. If you're on the face space, you know. Yeah,
we haven't done it yet, but now's our time to do it. You know. So yeah, keep the music alive. You know what I mean? Real songs.
Sure.
Rock and roll, baby.
Charles says he's so proud of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Charles. Yeah, it's been a journey, and I thank my family. I fucking put so much into this time. It's been crazy, you know. And the family stood by me because, you know, it's a last chance opportunity, and we're like, fuck, the music's so good. Let's give it our all. Let's fucking go hard at it, you know.
And yeah, and hearing what it's culminated so far, it's just, yep.
Dude, to get played on an LA rock radio station was freaking mind blowing. You know, that was
no doubt.
We were here with a couple of buddies and we freaking cranked it, and they played us at 11:55 straight after Man in the Box, and it was.
Here's Hippie. Hippie will be on after us, folks. Check out Metalhead Hippie coming up at the top of the hour.
I'll get something to you, Hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, blessings, man. Stoked. Keep your eye out for us, and any assistance in pushing us social media wise would be freaking psych.
Yeah, let folks know. Like it is. I think pretty much everybody in the chat's going to dig it. Because
within 6 weeks,
covers a lot of.
We'll release one song and then we'll start doing snippets. Fucking make it happen. Yeah, we're going to do a video, Hippie, in the next 2 weeks, so we'll wrap it up and get it to you.
Yeah. And thanks again, Terry, for posting the links.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Bless you, brother.
Yeah.
Been a cool hang, man. Love you all.
The king of the links. Philip digs all that you're putting down. Yep. Agreed. Hey, Mad Raj. We're just wrapping things up. Thanks for coming in at the end. I love this. Get to say hey to you. Hey. Yes, we're talking about JJ's upcoming release of at least a single, and then a single, and then a single, and then possibly an album.
Yeah. I just follow what everyone else is doing, but
playing gigging around California with some bands you would have heard of. Great. Actually, I don't remember the date. Was it October 16th? Friends of the Killer Dwarves are playing at the Whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Be a good show to get you guys on.
Oh yeah, we
Here's
want to
put
get
that
on
together.
LA. We got some guys. Well, you know, we're trying to get an agent right now, and we're working on some stuff to get some good shows. You know, so
Mhm.
fingers crossed that all keeps coming through.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
nice.
just keep follow the bouncing ball.
Exactly. Full throttle after that bouncing ball.
You know, we rehearse twice a week. We've all got day jobs. We rehearse twice a week, and we work our butts off with this, and it's never ending. We're going to give it one hard freaking push, you know?
I agree. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, folks, we're going to wrap things up. Thanks, everybody that tuned in tonight. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please leave a thumbs up. And if you're new, of course, please subscribe. We'll definitely have JJ back on again. He is definitely an alum of this channel, one of the OGs.
Love it.
I remember actually before I even ever did one of these shows, remember JJ, you and I were talking, and I was like, you and I got to do this, but it was wintertime and I couldn't get to my gear.
Yes, I remember.
And then as soon as I thought of it, I'm like, let's do this. And you're like, all right. And one of the first guests I had was JJ. So,
Yes.
Hey, Dustin. Good to see you, my friend. So on that note, I'll be back tomorrow night with Terry, and maybe Tom, with Canucks with Guitars live Q&A. And we'll talk more gear, have fun with that, and Canadiana and all that fun stuff. And then rest of the week, I got to solder. Damn it. Soldering. Yep. More soldering.
Yes, RJ, I do. Absolutely, brother.
Yep. And so, again,
Thank you,
cheers,
Mark.
folks. Hold those doors open. Let Doug's wife in ahead of you in traffic. Of course, hold the line, JJ. And be good to each other. Happy tone chasing. And, of course, don't litter.
Yeah.